Just Dean.
Just Dean. Smash Force Productions Dean.
Some days.
Yeah.
Some days. Most of the time, it's just 5-star. Just seems like 5-star. But speaking of production stuff, so I told you about the Fuji camera I got, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took that to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
So the thing has like 100 megapixels. And for some reason, which I've done some research now, like the f4 lenses for it is pretty much it. Those are the
Really?
expensive. The f2 lenses are cheap.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand it. But I guess at 100 megapixels, f4 is just what you want. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty badass.
Well, for the longest time, Apple's argument was that they kept it low megapixel because you could get more light in there.
Yeah. Well, you had bigger sensors.
Yeah.
So the bigger sensors could let in more light. I will say this, that it did have some amazing low light.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
I mean, it was like it didn't care. Because we went for a walk. My buddy Dave Cause, Fernando, and I went for a walk. We ended up by the Ferris Wheel.
Yeah, I know right where that is.
Yeah, so that's a really cool area. Of course, it was like 11 o'clock at night, so there was nobody around. It was really nice. And it rained, so that kind of cleared away all the riffraff.
Yeah.
But yeah, just went for a little shoot. I just took it out for a test run. Heat up the tires.
Did you guys ride the Ferris wheel?
Hell no, man! I ain't riding no Ferris wheel.
Oh man, come on! It's the slowest Ferris wheel ever.
Oh my god, no shit, right? You gotta like. Is it moving? I think it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have an hour, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be an hour.
Yeah, we didn't ride it either. I was like, no way. What's the point?
Yeah, that's just so stupid.
I've seen it. That's enough. We were only there because they have a killer like breakfast brunch place at this monorail stop that you get off to get there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat little restaurants down there, that's for sure. And that's where the what is it? What's those stupid little cheeseburgers? White Castle?
White Castle. Yeah, there is a White Castle down there.
Yeah, 24-hour White Castle. And there was something else down there that everyone was waiting. Oh, there's a what's that California cheeseburger there?
In-N-Out's down there.
Yep. There's an In-N-Out down there. Everyone was waiting in front of In-N-Out. I think that was the only thing anyone was there for.
I mean, In-N-Out's pretty good, but it's not worth waiting for, in my opinion.
I have a hard time waiting for anything. Drive-thru kicks my ass, so
yeah.
So I just don't even bother with it. I will talk myself out of it, man. I'll be like, oh, we could just, you know what? Let's just see what's in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
The thought of getting in my car, driving somewhere, waiting in the drive-thru. Oh, kill me now.
You're the mom saying, we got McDonald's at home.
We don't, but I will literally just like, if we're gonna have peanut butter and jelly, just not in the mood.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I'll make a sandwich. I'm fine. I'll live.
Yeah, just not in the mood. But hey, whatever, it happens. To each his own.
Exactly.
It's amazing what I find in the freezer. The girls have bought, and I'm like, oh wow.
Oh, we still have this. Yeah, this is from 2012.
Oh no, that gets cleaned out regularly. They buy more shit, and they're like, oh, we forgot to eat this trash.
Mm-hmm. Story of my life. Yeah. So, man, what's been going on? You got back from Vegas when?
Monday late afternoon. So I think we landed at 3 o'clock. So and Vegas for us is that last night is always just a pain in the ass, because the problem with these shows like that, like Master Tech ends at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
Which is cool, because it's like, hey, everyone go home. And so if you want to catch, a red eye or something, you can. But at Knowledge Fest, they do the award show Sunday night, so that doesn't get over until 9-ish, around 9:30. My buddy Glenn from Kenwood, Canada, took the red eye back to Canada. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. But we usually take the 5 o'clock flight, so 5:30, something like that.
That's so brutal at the Vegas airport. Oh,
Yeah. So usually what happens is we just don't go to bed.
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So, you wake up in the morning, which is ridiculous. So we got up at 9. Fernando had gone to bed at 7. He stayed out all night. I was like, dude, what are you, stupid? Um, yeah, he stayed up with a friend of ours and they were smoking cigars and having a good time. And he set his alarm for 9 o'clock. And I was like, why? Well, I was just gonna sleep in. I had no plans. I mean, I was like, let's just sleep in. Screw it, we got nothing to do.
Yeah.
And man, 9 o'clock. I was like, all right, well, let's just get up and do shit. So you pack your bag, pack your suitcase,
Mhm.
and the camera gear just waits because you don't know what you're gonna need for the day. Um, and so then you come back at the hotel, usually change, go to the award show, and then come back, change again if you need to. And then we came back to the hotel room about 3:30, packed up all the remainder. I took a quick shower, and then we, ran downstairs, grabbed a cab, and booted over to the air. It's funny too because I always find it amusing how busy the airport is at 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's stupid, man.
You know,
It's miserable in Vegas at the airport.
yeah, their airport sucks.
It does. It's the worst, probably the worst airport I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's up there pretty high on my list of please God, just let it burn into flames and build it again. I mean, you would think with the amount of money that they spend, they would have a beautiful airport. They don't. It is
No,
shit.
it's about equal to the beauty of the town itself.
I don't know. Man, it's just so bad. The only nice thing so Ubers and Lyfts I think they just are trying to get rid of them. Because like most of the hotels have moved pickup to the parking garage,
Yeah,
which is just pure hell. I get it because they just don't want all these cars in the front of the place. But
right.
taxis are right there, bro.
Hmm.
And
The
so
taxi mafia.
yeah. So I always take taxis when I'm in Vegas because it's just easier because you walk out of the hotel, they're right there, you get to where you need to go in 5 minutes or less. It's like the Papa John or not the Papa John's, the Jimmy John's of transportation.
Yeah,
For what you'll save to get an Uber, the time it takes. Like we took an Uber to what I call meat on a stick, um, which Brazilian meat on a stick, and it took us a half hour just to get out of the parking garage.
jeez.
Like we could have walked there. It's like 100 yards that way.
Dude, taxis are so suspect there. You get, I just look like, I don't even want to sit in here. That's,
Yeah, but there again, every place is like that. So
yeah.
what's the difference?
Well, the Ubers are typically decent when you get into them. That's why I was like, I'll just
Yeah,
walk.
but nothing else is. So who cares? I mean, it's just one big cesspool of shit. So
Yeah,
why? I don't know. I was just like, what? Caesar's palace was terrible. Yeah, Caesar doesn't know how bad his palace is. That's for sure.
no,
Um,
no. I
we
don't even
did.
think we walked through there through the forum shops, and that was it when we were there
Yeah,
last year.
so we did have a lunch meeting in Caesar's Palace.
Yeah,
So we walked over there and had a crappy lunch. Um, just happens. Uh, but the meeting was good, so who cares?
right.
Um, but as far as the show went pretty well. Uh, um, crap. So it starts Friday morning, and then Saturday, Sunday. We had our class early Saturday morning, which was apparently pretty good. Um, lot of vendors there. There's a lot of vendors there. Saw some new stuff that was pretty cool. Um, got to listen to Alpine's new Tesla system. That was kind of on my list of things to do because there's a lot of Teslas there,
Yeah,
which is cool because it means they're finally waking up to the fact that they need to get their act together. So Moscone had their Tesla stuff, which was Moscone Focal. But there's also a Gladen package. So if you want to do all Moscone Gladen, you can. Alpine had their Tesla, and then Electromedia had their Audison Tesla. So that was pretty good. Yeah, Audio Edge. There was quite a few Teslas. I don't know which one was his. That was the only thing. But I wanted to hear the Alpine one just because I
Right.
wanted it's Alpine, one of Alpine's new companies that they bought, I guess, a couple years back that they really bought for not necessarily the States.
Right.
But they're bringing it into the States. So everything, if you saw the live stream, you got to see how pretty this stuff is because it's like a blue and black carbon. It looks really nice. His was the purple wrapped with Sony system. I didn't see that one. That was at the front. I just Sony. Unfortunately, Sony you just kind of walk past. There's a lot of booths you just kind of walk past, which I mean, we're a Sony dealer and that's cool, but they weren't really introducing anything new.
Right.
So I was more interested in the plug and play stuff that everyone has. So that would, so the Moscone Gladen Focal system was plug and play ish. I just got to buy all the parts that they sell. Whereas the Alpine it's a system in a box. The amp was really neat looking. Those, I mean, it had good bass. It was pretty cool.
What's it consist of?
All new speak. It's like this weird landmine looking amplifier that's just one amp. And then all new speakers, high efficient speakers, high efficient subwoofer, all bolts into place. It's everything is just like, simple, kind of like Rockford did with their Jeep system. The nice thing is it's right around 3,500 or remember between $300 to $3,500 retail.
That's not bad.
No, because I mean, it doesn't have huge amplifiers. Like it's literally just like a small amplifier that's designed specifically for hybrids. So it's really cool. I would like to tune it myself because
is it the auto tune stuff that they've been doing?
No, but whoever tuned it clearly forgot how to tune.
Oh man,
I was like, who tuned it? I mean, I'm getting what it's doing and it's capable of, but whoever tuned this, wrong
but
show.
It is a DSP amp, though, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. It is a DSP amp. Hertz did roll out their entry level product. There again, okay, so here's the thing with entry level products, so to speak, right? Because let's take this from both sides of the street. All right. So a 249 500 watt amp. Does that do anything for any of you guys? Probably not, because my guess is JP or Scar or Crescendo or any one of a half dozen other guys makes something for 249 that is a hell of a lot more power than 500 watts, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's safe to say. So I don't know how excited you guys would get about that. For retail side of things, there again, everybody makes a 500 watt amp that is roughly 249. So so for a business, I have to look at it like, is this something I've been waiting for? Like I've been using somebody else's product, and now that I have theirs, I'm going to switch it out, or do I keep selling that Alpine 500 watt amplifier for 249 that everybody walks in and goes, oh, it's an Alpine, I'll take it,
Right.
as opposed to having the conversation of it's Hertz. Who? Hertz. Car rental company? Now, one thing that Audison did come out, other than their big multi-channel amplifier that's, the doppelganger of the Helix version of the big amplifier, multi-channel amplifier, they came out with a really cool amplifier that it's okay. So a monoblock, they're kind of doing this backwards. 1,000 watt monoblock. There again, don't know price, but it's a 1,000 watt monoblock with a 5-channel DSP built into it.
So, yeah, that is backwards.
But if you think about it, it's actually kind of genius.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. One, it has its sub amp with a DSP. Now, although the Q class amplifier we all thought was crazy, As we move forward now, a sub amplifier with the EQ in it of some kind makes a lot of sense because between high pass filtering that they're adding in and bass roll off and just general bleh coming out of the factory subwoofers, some form of an EQ would be fantastic. So you get that. Plus, you get 4 channels of output DSP. So, depending on what you're planning on doing in the future, if you want to do a front stage upgrade at some point, all you got to buy is a 4 channel amp,
Yeah.
you know? So, how's the eye? Who's
Oh,
that?
I did a whatnot stream Tuesday,
Hmm.
and right literally got an eyelash in my eye like 3 minutes before the show, dude. And it was just swollen. It was fun.
Ooh, that sucks. That sucks so bad. But anyways, you kind of see where that might be a cool amplifier.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I the only thing I would say in it is most people change out their sub amp more than their mids amp.
Well, that's the nice thing. It's 1,000 watts.
Right.
So for most of what Audison customers are going to be doing,
Right. Yeah, it's plenty.
and there again, it's definitely not an amp that most. I got to be honest with it. It's probably going to get discontinued before it even gets to gets a second order because I
Right.
don't see anybody understanding what it's capable of doing and buying it.
Yeah, it'd count on people like you selling it to people. Like,
Yeah, I
hey,
mean,
look, you can do this and this and this. Because if you
right,
don't, just like the Kicker Q when it first came out,
right. No one's going to
like
understand it.
I didn't understand it until you done the video on it, and we literally had, I think we had like Kip on before talking about it, and I was like, okay, a 4 channel amp. I didn't understand that it was the 4 channel amp.
Well, keep in mind the DSP has no power, so it's just 4 RC output.
Right.
So even if you wanted a DSP the factory system, you'd still need to add some small amplifier to it. So, well, you can add any 4 channel amplifier you
Yeah.
want. So it's not like
And I'm not going to argue with any manufacturer that's putting DSPs in amps. I
yeah,
would like DSPs in almost every amp. Like at first, I didn't like smart TVs because I
right,
was like, hey, I can buy a box. Just make me a really nice TV. But then as time went on, it's like, you know what? It's in there if I ever need it. I
right,
can still use my box. But if something goes crazy with that, it's in
yeah,
there and I have it.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. But I mean, I've been kind of pushing for that. So when I saw somebody that actually did it, I was like, oh, and I didn't even have to ask these guys. Yeah. So that was actually kind of refreshingly cool. Um, Orca is coming out with so the Flax 10-inch shallow mount subwoofer is like an all-time favorite for a lot of people. So now they're coming out with a 12-inch version of it. And then we're also going to get a K2 shallow mount, which I'd already talked about that because we'd already taken
Yeah.
pictures of it, but obviously it's closer to actually being a thing. That's going to be an expensive beast, but they already have the Utopia, which is like crazy money, so this will be cheap. And then the talk of the show was that new weird 10-inch um, subwoofer that the whole backside is open. And it just has this. If you didn't see it, it's
I didn't
weird.
see it.
It's in the video.
Yeah.
So it's this 10-inch subwoofer that's like this deep. Because it uses like this strip of neo magnets. It's got a 5-inch voice coil, and
Wait,
the
is it
magnet.
Morell?
No, this is
Oh
like
wow.
nothing. It's all exposed.
Really?
So like the spider is on the inside of the voice coil. It is the weirdest thing you've ever seen. And supposedly it's like $1,000.
Wow.
And everyone is like, there's a lot of controversy about it because they're claiming it does this, this, and this. And
Right.
everyone's like, I'm sorry, Peter McKinnon or not Peter McKinnon, that guy,
David McKinnon.
David McKinnon. Sorry, not to be confused with the photographer.
Yeah.
David McKinnon is like trying to be,
The
I'm gonna
hype
say
man.
dickish, but about it because he's not really calling out who he's saying is saying bullshit, which I find very petty. If
Yeah.
you're gonna call somebody out, just be a man, call them out.
Yeah.
Um, but he's kind of like, it's impossible. Let's physics or physics, and it's like, yeah, I get all that, but you know what?
Yeah.
Until you've actually heard it,
Well,
you
it's
know,
like everything's impossible until someone does it, and
correct.
then that's the new standard, right? So yeah, I hate that argument a lot of times.
Yeah. So I don't care. I thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So if it sounds like crap, you know what? I'd still put it on my
at
shelf.
least at least try. I mean,
Oh
I like
yeah,
that they're trying things,
yeah,
and obviously when you try something new, it's going to be expensive because no one's doing it. You can't put it max production right away.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So if it's legit, maybe 5 years from now it filters down into something more affordable that an average person might pick up.
Yeah. You can take.
Uh,
So it's called Truly, and it's not
like the
spelled like the
seltzer drink
alcoholic
with the
beverage.
hearts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not spelled like that, but the name is that. So it's like, if Fernando, what was it? I think Fernando goes, who is that? Might not have been Fernando. It's like, why would you name your subwoofer after an alcoholic beverage? Kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Um, the nice thing is that the distributor here in the U.S. is going to be my buddy at Rich from RVDFL.com. So hopefully, if anything, I'll be able to borrow one.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm
Just have
always
some fun with
interested
it.
in mess with stuff like that. People like, oh, well, this and that. Well, it's cool, man. I mean, it may suck. Who knows? But
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah,
until you get hands on with it and see what it's
yeah.
doing.
And there again, I mean, depending on the box that it can go in, it could be perfect for a lot of things. So,
Right.
just everybody needs to calm down, and I hate it when people start ragging on shit before it actually comes out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that thing's a piece of crap. How do you know? Just look at it. It looks like a piece of crap. That, and Fernando learned that lesson with the JBL, what is it, Base Hub to go, or whatever the hell it was. That
Right. I
stupid little
remember that.
Bluetooth boombox.
Yeah.
You know, he was so pissy about that thing. And then when we fired it up, it was like, holy shit. And there again, you look at that thing, and every single thing about it says this will not work.
Right.
And then you put it in a car and you go, oh, well, I guess I was wrong.
Yeah. It looks plasticky as hell. And it's like, how would a Bluetooth speaker? But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was just one of those things. Um,
What's
George Clooney.
I didn't believe in the Morels, the ultra slim Morels. I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
there's no way.
Ultra or the carbon nanos.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no way those have any mid bass whatsoever.
And they actually outperform the regular
Right?
Virtus.
They have a serious amount of mid bass. When you hear them installed properly, it's like, wow,
Right.
that's impressive.
Well, when we did the AB comparison, and then we took that on the road. We did it at Knowledge Fest and Master Tech, and everyone was like, "Do that again?"
Yeah,
Holy shit! Yeah, I was like, "Right, man, it's pretty scary." You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
so it's like, and then we did get to see the Shallow Mount Morell. They had it there. They have it in the Bronco, uh, which they've teamed up with Mobridge.
Yeah,
Mo makes an A to B amplifier with DSP, so Mobridge needed speakers, so Morell put together a whole system for the Bronco, which is kinda cool because that was actually a system that I wanted to do in a Bronco. I just didn't know, you know so Fernando listened in on that, was like, "Yeah, those because they went with the hybrid coaxial 4s in the dash."
yeah,
He's like, "Yeah, those things kick ass," and I was like, "Perfect." So,
yeah,
everyone was enamored with your Oz Audio subwoofer that you had for sale.
yeah. Or the component set was Oz Audio.
Oh,
The
was it
the,
component set?
the
Yeah.
subwoofer is a dime R12, like from the forums, the DIY mobile audio forums.
Yeah.
That's one that they built, like as a collaborative type, or had built.
Right.
So that's kind of a crazy the story. I wanted to do a whole video on it. I was like, nobody's gonna watch this. You know what I mean? It's like it's very interesting to me, the story of how
Right.
it came together, and they got with the manufacturer overseas. They made it to spec to what they want, and I got quite a bit of information on it. But then
Right.
I'm like, if I start doing a video, like no one's gonna care. Like no one's gonna care except for me and maybe like 200 other people maximum.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Um.
So where do you land on shallow subs? Since we're talking about shallow subs, I remember not liking shallow subs in the early days, just because most of them were pretty. They were not what they were supposed to be. I think the first decent shallow-ish sub I heard was the PPI flat piston with the pancake motor.
Oh yeah, that thing sucked.
Yeah, and then that was like the first decent one I heard, and then I think JL Audio kind of changed the game with the TW series when those came out. And it's like, okay, that's a legit sub now. That at that point, even though it's not going to perform as well as their full size, that was the first like legit shallow mount sub I heard.
Yeah. For me back in the day, it was always just I wish somebody would come out with a shallow sub that didn't suck.
Yeah,
And really what we would do is just take things that had big voice coils, and those would typically work in small boxes, so we would use those. But they always sounded like rubber bands. I mean, it was just always like crappy, twangy shit.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, we used a lot of make it fit technology to get really bad sounding boxes with subwoofers in them. Pioneer really, when they came out with the IB flat with the
yeah,
air chamber, was was probably the biggest deal for everyone, because that actually sounded good. You
yeah,
know, it was a weird subwoofer. I really wish they would have kept that technology, because honestly, out of all the shallow woofers of its time, and there again, nostalgia is a beautiful thing. So I'll look at nostalgia, and
right,
the statement is a nostalgic statement, just because that was such a revolutionary subwoofer. That thing, it sounded fantastic. I'm sure it doesn't now. Like, I'm sure
right,
there's so much better shit out now, but back then that was like, holy fuck, Pioneer Premier
right.
shallow mount. Oh yeah, baby. You know, and we'd put four of those in a spare tire well, three of those in a spare tire well, four of them behind a seat. And it'd be like, as my friend Gary Bell said, point oh dick of airspace. And it,
Yeah,
you'd just be like, fuck, it works. So that was always cool. Uh, you know, Kicker with the CVT. I always look at that and go, why do you still make that? Like, it sounds like shit. It always has. It's never been a good woofer. The Comp RT, when they came out with that, it was like, holy shit, this woofer just stomps the shit out of this thing.
yeah. I don't
Um,
think I ever used the CVT that I can remember.
yeah, it was one of those things, because Paul likes cheap shit. So,
Yeah,
you buy it and you're like, we're never putting these in ever again. Oh man. I was like, no, no, I can't sell this woofer. Um, even Phoenix Gold, they had a decent shallow mount woofer that sounded really good. With immediate amount of power, nothing too exciting.
right.
But as time moves on, we're getting much better shallow mount stuff, and I think that's because everyone, it's like you have these two camps. Give me the biggest mofo woofer you could possibly imagine, with magnets that look like
Yeah.
whatever.
12-inch mounting depth.
Yeah, I mean, 12-inch speaker with 18 inches of mounting depth. Give me that. Yeah, woo.
Yeah,
Small New Jersey town to power it up. Or you got somebody going, I really don't want people to hear me when I'm rolling down the street. I just want it to sound good when I'm in the vehicle. I just need a little bit of
yeah,
bass. And you're going, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, shut up. You know, it's like,
yeah,
what do you think? I'm going to hold it against you if we put a lot of bass in your car? Like, dude, I don't
yeah,
care. Like, nobody cares.
exactly.
Nobody cares how much bass you put in your car. Not one person, except maybe the asshole behind you if he doesn't like bass. But I mean, nobody cares. And I hear the same thing every time, man. It's like, I'm not going to enter any competitions or anything. Well, no
Yeah.
shit. We're putting one subwoofer in your car, dude. That's like going to the car dealership and going, I'm not going to be driving
Yeah,
NASCAR or anything like that. I just need a car.
exactly.
Well, that's
Like,
good because we don't sell those.
clearly you've never heard a competition vehicle.
Oh, no, and there again, I don't know what their idea of competition is because you just look at it and go,
Yeah.
but you kinda wanna look at them and go, "So when you went to buy this car,
Yeah.
you told them you weren't gonna be driving NASCAR, right?" You know,
Well,
open
it's like the
wheel.
people with, like, I would work out, but I don't wanna get too buff, I don't.
Yeah, oh, for sure,
That's
for
why
sure,
I
I don't
don't
wanna be healthy, you know?
work
I
I
would
don't
eat
wanna I
healthy,
don't
but
wanna
I
get too
enjoy
too
being
swole,
overweight, you know?
So, that's
Yeah,
that's my excuse.
yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. I don't wanna scare
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so, I mean, from that perspective, I think we're finally getting we're getting some really, nice stuff. But the reality is I always look at it and go, "Listen, we're gonna put one shell mount subwoofer in your car or whatever box for down firing silliness we're gonna put in your car. I'm gonna tell you right now, I could put my shittiest 110 in a ported enclosure in this and it'll destroy it." And
Yeah.
they'll go, "Really?" Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let me put a P2 in here and a ported box. Hell, I could let me throw a kicker comp, yellow, shitty comp. So it'll kick
Mhm.
its ass. No, you're right. You know,
Yeah.
so what's up? And there again, I mean, there if you take it to the opposite side of that and you look at like the Focal Utopia M profile 10-inch shallow mount driver that are like what, 1,000, $1,200 a piece. You put four of those in a box, which is like the MTI special, or they'll put four of those underneath the seat with a whole bunch of power, and it sounds fantastic. I mean, it is great.
Right.
It's probably the best you're ever gonna get, but it's still the best shallow mount.
Yeah.
So Ground Zero has a really nice shallow mount too. Yep. So
What the shallow mount that I had the most experience with was the Illusion Audio Carbon.
yes,
Really, really clean sound. Probably the best sounding woofer I've ever had. Output was probably 1/3 of an average subwoofer.
yeah, exactly.
Is what it
Yeah,
is,
and I have an Arc Audio woofer that looks a lot like that with the upside down magnet and all that.
Yeah.
That supposedly is pretty badass. What's up, Chris? Um,
Yo.
on the flip side of that, now one of the other things that was announced at Knowledge Fest was Raven. So, for those of you that have never heard of Raven before, it is an Orca product. So, Orca sponsors our show, Moscone, Clayton, whatnot. Orca is the parent company here in the US that made Illusion. So, it was Illusion was Orca. So, Orca is the company that owned Illusion and made them over in India, whatever. Raven is part of Orca's home audio side of things. So, they made this Raven subwoofer for home audio. Um, but now that Illusion has been wrapped up into a tiny bow and shuttered away, Raven is going to be where products like that are going to come from.
Okay.
So they announced the Raven car audio subwoofers have been out for about, I want to say, like 3 years now.
Hmm.
They're very expensive. They're very, as you guys would call, SQ, whatever that means. It's not an SPL woofer, it's a normal person woofer that has exquisite taste. Easy way of saying it. I don't know. Um, but is Illusion coming back as Raven products? No. What is going to come back is the engineer that works at Orca that did all the Illusion stuff is now moved tracks and is working into Raven. So one of the products they did announce to a very select few is the new Raven 2.5.
Ooh.
So it's a totally new speaker, totally new design, like weird motor structure. It's like
Wait,
got
is it a full range with a tweeter
no,
or
it's a middler.
it's a
It's a
middler?
middler. But it's a different design on middler. Like it's not the way it's like some strange like I, it was one of those things where like they were talking about it and you're like, what are you like? Are you speaking English? Like I don't know what you're saying. It's like
Yeah.
what doesn't it have? What is it doing? Okay, I gotta wake up. Um, And there's only like one pair made right now, so it's don't get anyone's hopes up and get excited like we're gonna see this thing anytime in the near future. I mean, we're
Right.
literally still doing. We're not even in beta. I mean, there's literally one pair of these that exists. So, but it will be made here in the United States.
Oh wow.
So for all you go, ooh, no, made here in the United States cost. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, they're like, screw that. We're gonna make every. They have a ribbon tweeter that they sell in that line also. But they're gonna have a 6.5. So basically, you're gonna have like a 6.5, a 2.5, 2 3/4, or whatever it is, some form of a tweeter. They'll have a Raven tweeter. They have a 10 and a 12. It's gonna be a very small line, but the cat's out of the bag, so we get to finally talk about it because we knew that this was gonna happen after Illusion went defunct. I mean, literally on the phone when they were when I was talking with them, they're like, "Well, maybe we should just bring this back under Raven," and we're like, "Okay."
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah,
Lucian
so
never got the shine I think they deserved, man. They had some, like you said, they had a small line, but they had some really nice products in there.
they had some fucking
They cost
amazing products.
and they cost money. I think that's why they
Well, the problem is that the line has always been plagued with availability.
yeah.
You know, so they went to India to have it made, because why not? And the original company that was making it, like halfway in, decides that they're gonna close up. So they take it to another vendor, and the other vendor's like, yeah, yeah, totally, we can do it. They just hired all the old employees and moved all the machines in there, and they managed to fuck it all up.
Yeah.
And after that, it was like, fuck, screw this, man. This is trash.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, the same guy that designed all that stuff is going to be designing, or yeah. So at least I think that's his story. But yeah, he's really good. So
RVH says it right here.
yeah, losing 100 before it could afford anything. Yeah. I have a set of the 3.5s, and there again, the 3.5-inch coaxials were by far one of the 3.5-inch coaxial, the 8-inch, the inverted sub, that 6.5. It was all amazing stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
like the
I never
3.5.
got my hand on the coaxials, but
Yeah,
I had both pairs. I had the Lucent and the carbon component sets. I had the Lucent and the carbon subwoofer. They were
yeah.
nice.
I mean, a lot of guys have it, and it's like it's there's some of it still out there in the wild, but it's I mean, I'll
Right.
probably just keep the 3.5s as something that was and never was again.
Right. Well, no, they were kind of the big dog for that speaker. The main competitor that they had was the Morell. They had it was the Tempo for the longest time and the 4-inch with the
I
tweed in
mean,
the middle.
yeah, but nothing like a 3.5 with a tweeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with the Illusion is that it does have a tweeter. The tweeter isn't loud enough, because everybody wants that tweeter to rip shit up, and it's just a small like half-inch tweeter
I
in the
think they
center
should
there.
put a bullet tweeter in it.
I mean, if they could have, that would have been fantastic. I'm fine with that. 3.5 with a bullet tweeter.
There you go.
Come
It's
on,
seven makes
Chris.
it 7 inches because you got the horn loaded. Yeah.
Chris is over. Let me get those 3.5 steam, bro. You work on that Best Buy money. Chill out, man. You'd have to cash in your Bitcoin.
Is that he's got Bitcoin money?
Saying
He
he'd have to
ain't
cash in
worried
his
about Best Buy
Bitcoin money. I
money.
ain't coming off of those cheap. Screw that shit. I'm the opposite, man. I'll be like, dude, these bitches are rare. I don't care if they're going out of business or they went defunct.
It makes them more
Like,
rare.
yeah, I'm like, you can't get these anymore. The Church of Bullet Tweeters.
He's been converted. They've infected him.
I got money, cuz.
I told you he got a Bitcoin money, man. He ain't playing.
Well, yeah, you know why he has money? You know why he has money is because he's been sending me pictures of his science project that he's put in his car.
Yeah, he sent me some too. Yeah.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 5 uses. I mean, you got $150 in amplifiers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's still funny. The bad thing is he's gonna get it in there and it's gonna sound like $1,000,000, and he's gonna be like, I mean, like he's gonna drive. He's the guy that would like listen to him and be like, dude, this thing sounds amazing. He would do the 5-hour drive down here to just go fuck you, and I'd be like, oh yeah, you're right, man. It sounds great.
Yeah, He's just like, you know what's gonna be, you know what would be even funnier is if he took all those amps and stacked, you know how like SPL vehicles stack the big amps?
Yeah.
Like a little mini stack of those amps in the trunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and then he's got a key 500.1 for the sub. So
Right.
yeah, it'd be funny to build like this little tiny amp rack.
Yeah.
You know, they're all laid out in there.
Like, yeah, that would be hilarious, dude.
Little miniature bus bars. You
Dude,
know,
it's like
oh,
what
that would be
they'll use 10 gauge wire.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
or at best. Oh yeah,
Shit,
do
they
clean
don't have
wiring
10
on that,
gauge.
man.
Those
Like, yeah,
barely have those.
Chris,
Barely
if you're gonna do it,
have
don't half-ass it, man. Let's
yeah,
see it. Yeah, let's see it.
yeah. I was gonna stack them with it. Dude, I'd be like custom lasering
Yeah,
brackets and shit to make.
exactly.
I mean, I think I have a couple. I know I have a couple of those that just randomly appeared for some fucking reason, but I would still never do that. But
Yeah.
well, that was like when we had all those JVC amplifiers that we built all those displays with for them. I'm just looking at like we had all those just laid all out throughout the install bay when we were building all those displays, and I'm going, what could I do with this?
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically destroying all these amplifiers. Oh, that was rough too. I know somebody be crying over there as we were just hacking those fucking amplifiers up. Like, we don't need this part of it. We don't need that part of it. And I put them all in a box. I was like, what if they want this stuff back? And so finally I was like, do you guys want this stuff back? And they're like, for what? Well, has anybody ever? No, they're going to stay mounted right where they're at forever and ever. I said, all right, well, I'm throwing this shit away then.
Exactly. That was literally a basket case. Literally.
Oh, yeah.
4 hours. Wow.
I'm not half-assing it, bro.
Oh, dude.
The sad thing was, he put a laughy face after everything except that.
Yeah, he was serious.
They were serious about that. But it's kind of like, that's like one of those things where you're like, bro, those dinosaurs in that movie, those look real.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
Chris at the strip club, like, I think she likes me, man.
Yeah. I'm killing these 3, 4, 5 U's. These things are gonna be awesome, bro. I'm serious about this, man.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll let me see. He just sent another picture. I'll show it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's already got them. He didn't stack them though.
No, he's got them all laid out. Oh no, he's doing a beautiful job.
Yeah.
On that cardboard panel.
No, make it look like an SP. Yes, it is cardboard.
To be fair, he's ordered plastic. It hasn't come in yet. So he's just mocking it up on cardboard. I have no problem with, but I gave him shit about that too.
Yeah, that's funny.
That PVC shit's expensive.
Yeah.
I'm like, when you're trying to build a system for $200, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, then he has the amps that cause the kicker key to be made, and then the kicker key. So
yeah, which
it's like an evolution. Yeah.
Yes, for those who don't know, the Alpine 455U is the reason why the kicker key 200.4 exists in the first place. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean those amps were like everybody. You could speak to it better than me, but I just remember everybody getting those amps.
Best Buy in Circuit City, the 455A. U means Universal, A means Alpine. They sold the shit out of those. That was like everyone got one of those. Those things would come in and they'd be like, yeah, I had Circuit City or Best Buy put in my radio. And I'd be okay. And sure enough, there'd be a 455A tucked somewhere in the dash. You'd be like, you're buying a Kenwood now, dude. And you'd take it out and the Kenwood would still sound better. They'd be like, oh. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Carpet the cardboard, no one will ever know. You're right about that. I've done it.
Oh man.
Got funny. 7 for sale cheap. Oh yeah, dude, he loves the bargains.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for your entertainment, Chris. That's
no
hard feelings, but God, yes, that was fantastic. And he's gonna prove us all wrong. It's gonna sound amazing, no chance. But I mean, it's gonna sound amazing.
What I appreciate about it is that I also like doing weird shit like that doesn't make sense, right? Because I mean, he could have just bought a regular DSP amp and just been done, right?
Not for $150.
Well, yeah, not for what he paid, but
Yeah.
still. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna
Yeah, let's
mess
just
with
do it.
you. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like Christian, you know? Christian's another one of those guys that just can't make up his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And it's not he just likes playing with stuff, you know? He just
Yeah.
wants to it's like now he's selling his Morels because he bought some Focal. So if anybody's looking for a deal on some Morels, hit up Christian. He's got some Alto tweeters that I'm sure he's gonna lose his ass on. Um, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I mean, and there again, he's feeding his crack habit. He's gonna sell those so he can go buy some more crap. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you could use the 4IQ amplifiers, but then your car wouldn't start because of how much power those things draw. You know?
Yeah.
Shit.
I
We
mean,
all, you know, it's
speaking
okay.
of Christian, I basically started my YouTube channel because I'm the same way. It just gave me an
Yeah.
excuse. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
can now I have an excuse to do. Now it seems less dumb now that I say I'm making a video about it, right? Why would
I
you
mean,
do
yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, listen, I do this shit for a living. So, I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
so does Chris, but I mean, you know, I get to play with everybody's everything, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like
I
anytime,
think
you know, for
that
me,
would stem my tide of wanting to mess with it myself because you get to listen to it. You get to put it in, see how it sounds, and you can be like, "Oh, well, this didn't sound as good as I hoped it would."
right. Or it did, or, you know, I mean, for us, it's just we want to be repetitive. So we find something we like and we just keep doing it because, you know, the days of the cowboy
Yeah.
have come and gone. What we're looking for is consistency. So, um, the problem is like you we have too many brands for one that makes things difficult. But the reality is we just keep trying to install the same thing. It's really the people's budget that screw everything up because like we could make everybody's car amazing,
Yeah.
but it's like you know oh I only it's like dude spend another 2 grand for God's sake spend another 2 grand.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but yeah, whatever. So I don't don't do dumb shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Our
Um,
boy Blake, I don't know if you follow the DD Audio YouTube channel, but he's been making some appearances. He's the new video face that you've been seeing.
no, I haven't
The
done
young
that.
man is making some moves.
Hey man, somebody's got to, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, it's always nice to stay relative.
And hey, listen, I have a feeling he's going to go full base head. He's saying he's not going to, but I see him. The bullet tweet was the first hint of it.
Yeah, no, I totally get it, Chris. I totally get it. I mean, the reality is you work at DD, right? And you're around all that base head shit all day long. Why
Yeah.
do you not go base head? I mean, let's be honest, man. If I worked around 50-pound woofers all day
Yeah.
long,
I
bro.
feel like everyone has base head in them, right?
Oh yeah.
Even the most hardcore SQ guy gets a little giggle when they're playing their shit loud, you know?
Oh, for sure. I
That's,
mean, the funny thing was is on so sound Sundown was at Knowledge Fest with Excess Power and Sundown. They had a
right.
really nice class on how to recone a speaker, which was cool. The funny part was is they had one like conventional motor structure woofer on the left, and they had one non-conventional motor structure woofer on the right. And I'm like, and I'm going, ooh, do I want this one? Do I want that one? And I was like, I want this one. This one looks cool. You
Yeah.
know, it's got this giant weird motor structure on the back, and I'm going, yeah, that's the one I want right there. That's badass. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why. Let's be honest. If I had a vehicle that it made sense, I would definitely put the 19-inch in there.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you not?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like
Definitely.
I don't have the power. You know, I've got enough. I mean, if you have one, you have enough big dumb amplifiers. So,
Exactly.
you know,
Well, I will say this. This is way early, but I've acquired a vehicle and it's not for driving.
oh,
So
you're gonna make a lab, huh?
we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something
You could
I
turn it into
mean,
a
you
fort in
need
the backyard.
listen. You never go full base head, but sometimes you go 3/4.
Well, so I mean, I think the problem isn't it always the problem is that okay, so my personality, and probably one of the reasons why I haven't put a stereo in my car is that I can't do anything like part way.
Yeah,
So like if I would talk myself out of doing a base head system just because I know everything I would want
yeah,
and I don't want to build it.
exactly.
You know, it'd be like Doug. You know,
Yeah,
where Doug, sound man, like he got so far into it, and he was just like, I've had enough." You know,
yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
that's enough. I've basically done I haven't done shit to this car, and I've had enough. You
Well,
know,
this system, it's going to be a full-on base head system, but that being said, at a smaller scale. But yeah, we're going full, and I've got some help, so local help. So we're gonna do something stupid in it, but
you
hopefully
get
it's
a
fun.
Scar Audio 18.
No.
Totally.
I've already got the equipment.
Oh,
That's gonna be the surprise part. So I have to figure out what I want to do for the front end.
so some Toomey amplifiers and subwoofers.
Somewhat.
What is it, Toomey or whatever the hell it is? The Chinese company.
Oh, no.
Or I don't even know what the fuck it's called.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all Chinese companies. No.
Well, now
No,
they're
this is
Taiwanese.
good. This is a well-known brand. So we shall see. We shall see. I don't know how loud it's going to be. I'm going to try to make it as loud as I can, but
Isn't
it's
that
been
always the goal?
it's been a while. I think I would rather have it play lower than louder. So I got to try to find that balance because I want the wobbles.
Oh, don't. I mean, hell, man, we want 150 dBs at 20 hertz.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the
Shit,
goal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the funnest one. That's the funnest ones to demo though. The ones that play stupid low
mhm.
at extremely high volumes. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Hopefully, I'll see one of those at whatever the base show is that we're gonna go to this year.
Oh, I've already put my vacation days in.
When is it?
Uh, let me see. I think it's June
Oh,
7th and 8th.
and which one is that?
8th and 9th. That's Slamology.
All right, I'll have to see what's going on that month.
Yep. I already put the thing in, so I will be there. I'm not driving up there. I'm gonna fly up there, but I will be there.
Yeah, I'll have to see because maybe we'll just fly up for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have Atlantic City, I think, in June. And normally
Mm,
I wouldn't mind missing Knowledge Fest, but I've never been to Atlantic City and I really want to go. So
yeah.
um
We went probably about 5 years ago. First time we'd been to Atlantic City. So
yeah. I
we
want
don't
to
like
see
the beach.
how bad it is compared to Vegas.
Uh, it's nicer than Vegas. The beach is gross. You don't like the beach anyway, so
I'm
what's
not
it
going to a
matter?
beach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they do have a boardwalk amusement park. It's pretty cool.
Right.
So
Probably won't do that either.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. There it's one of those things where it's like, but we do really want to go to Slamology, so
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Maybe we could just fly out for the Saturday and come home Sunday. You know, fly out Friday night after work or some shit like that, and then just grab a hotel Friday night and then just
yeah.
leave.
Well, let me know if you guys do. If you do end up, then I'll just get a Airbnb or something.
Yeah,
2 or 3 bedroom. Won't be no
yeah,
biggie.
yeah.
So I think
I'll have
Cassie
to
might
check that.
come. She hasn't decided yet. So I don't know if she wants to be around that much testosterone. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, yeah. And it's exactly. Oh, for all I know, Fernando will be like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Dude, you're missing out." He'll be like, "No, I'm not." Um,
Oh man.
I live in Destin, going to be the beach like 3 times in 5 years. Yeah, I mean, I live the beach is right there. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. But no, it's for sure. It's definitely on our list of things to do. It's just a matter of so right now all we're focused on is the next 2 months.
Yeah.
So because it's like, but I still have to like once I get so the next big chunk is master tech. So because that's like coming so fast. So once we get through master tech and that is off my plate, like I will feel so much better.
Yeah. And you can actually think about something else. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll immediately start thinking about CMA, but at
Yeah.
least I won't have to like that's going to be a lot of work too, but it's not a lot of work that I have to be responsible for. So like, I mean, I have a couple classes like in Canada. I'll be doing. We're coming up with a class right now that's. This is one of those weird, like the class we taught at Knowledge Fest. I really wasn't happy about. Like I didn't like it. Which normally I get pretty excited about teaching a class, and this one
Yeah.
just it just wasn't our style class, and so I didn't really enjoy it as much as I normally would. And a couple of my guys were like, "Yeah, that was a weird class you guys taught." And I was like, "Yeah, it sucked." No, it was good. I was like, "No, no, it sucked." um, and then the Canadian guys were like, "Dude, we want you to do that class," and I'm like, "No, I know the points you want from the class. Let's do something different. We'll just make sure we include that shit."
Right.
And
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, okay." But so we're gonna come up with so the idea behind the Canadia class is gonna be um from picture backstepping from a final picture to how that was actually created. So all the way to the install. So we're gonna take you through the meta dashboard in Facebook, Instagram. We're going to take you through marketing. We're going to take you through some basic design, 2D design, all the way back to the actual how we sold the system.
Right.
So we're gonna walk backwards. So we're gonna go backwards in time to how this picture was actually created and why it's there and what it will do. And I got to do it in 55 minutes.
Oh, simple.
Yeah, and then I'm doing another class with um, Brian from Mobile Solutions. Apparently, I'm doing a wire portion of it. I just found out about. So I was like, okay, cool. Which is what we're doing at mobile, which we're doing at the expo.
Right.
We're doing a class on at the expo about our wiring techniques, which will be fun.
Are you
And then we're
guys
also,
still doing the competition?
oh yeah, oh
That's cool.
Jesus, yes, dude, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I had our phone meeting tonight just because we're trying to make sure we get everything on point, get everything done. Because I
Right.
feel like we're gonna have to call each other like every couple days now just to make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. Um, but yeah, it's going to be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I would have made plans to go to that. I wanted to. And who knows, I still might. If I work something around in my schedule and there's some open tickets, I still may do that. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
It's gonna be nuts, man.
it's
It's
not
just one of those things that I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it as much.
it's not
Like,
gonna be
man,
that nuts, is it?
strippers and coke, baby.
I've been to Indianapolis, Chris. I don't think you want their strippers. Just
Fuck
saying.
no. No, you don't. No.
Oh, Fuego. Thanks for joining, my friend.
Yeah. Strippers and coke.
Yeah, yeah. They were so last time we were in Vegas, the people cleaning the room were definitely doing coke or meth, one or the other. Yeah, I just had to put the lock on and be like the door thing and hope they didn't come in that room the whole time we were gone.
Yeah, we always hang the do not disturb thing on our door.
Yeah.
I don't and then someone took it off our door and put it
Oh
on their
no.
door. So they
Oh
came in and
no.
cleaned the room, and I was like, what the fuck? I was so pissed.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we got shit everywhere that I just
Mhm.
don't need people knowing what I have in my room because that's a lot of money. So I don't want to be the one guy that's like, yeah, we got all our camera equipment stolen from the hotel room in Vegas.
Yeah,
Why
good
didn't you put it in the
times.
safe?
$10,000 worth of equipment in one fell
Shit.
swoop.
Dude, that Fuji was $10,000.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Dude,
Jeez.
I'm like, God, I really hope this guy doesn't want this thing back. I'm
Exactly.
like, I found my new best friend.
This is mine now. Yeah. All right. I put a link to the chat. We watched a pretty good movie.
Oh yeah, Tetris.
So I watched it last night because I wanted it to be kind of fresh. So
One of us has to be.
yeah, one of us gots to. Can't stop, won't stop. So yeah.
Till next week.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Click the link.